we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
Hey, hello, I'm JulieJo. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering a topic that I don't normally cover. I've covered once on this channel, and that is foodie beauty. I cover certain things on this channel from multi-level marketing companies, which is what my other video was on foodie beauty, since she's promoting one, scams, cults, and dangerous people. I recently saw a video from Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom is a YouTuber with 1.1 million subscribers, and they do documentaries over people and other creators. Like I was saying, I saw this video from Turkey Tom on Chantal, also known as Foodie Beauty, and I was disappointed, to say the least. It's fine if you disagree with me and you thought it was an amazing video. What that does tell me is you might not know who Foodie Beauty is and why I consider her a dangerous person. Maybe Turkey Tom knows these things and just simply didn't want to add them, or maybe he just didn't look deep enough into who Foodie Beauty was before doing this video on her. I'm going to be talking about a few things in this video that I think should have been added to that video to really properly show who Chantal is. There were several comments telling him this, some in particular saying, as someone who's been following Chantal for around 5 years now, this video makes her look like someone worth pitying. She isn't. She's a documented animal abuser. BBJ was completely matted and her nails were grown into her paws. Everything is documented by a vet. There's documents online. Also, let's not forget the joke she made about 12-year-old immigrant farm workers and about paying them for prostitution. Another comment says this paints her in a much kinder light than she deserves. Another commenter said Chantal was all for euthanizing BBJ as a way to escape responsibility, saying the cat was elderly. FFG rescued that cat from being euthanized, and when BBJ was taken to the vet by FFG, the vet documented that BBJ had issues due to being neglected, such as tons of mats in her unkempt fur and nails as long as they were growing into pads of her feet, which made the poor kitty walk with a limp because of the pain. This is why everyone says Chantal is a vile animal abuser. Someone also says she couldn't bring herself to do it, which was a quote from Turkey Tom. They continue, you give Chantal too much credit in regards to BBJ. She would have put the cat to sleep if she had the chance. She hid the cat food from Pete's, and a viewer ended up sending in food so that the cat could eat. The cat had treatable conditions, and she ignored BBJ's cries and let her suffer in pain for months. She took her to the vet once due to pressure from viewers and was supposed to take her for a follow-up, but it never happened, and the cat was left to suffer. Once she decided on going to Kuwait, her plan was to take BBJ to the vet, and with the cat having not eaten, she would appear really sickly and the vet would put her to sleep. Once the cat was with FFG, all the neglect and abuse she had put the cat through was documented. She neglected that cat to the point of abuse and should have been prosecuted for it. Someone else says, you got some of her story a bit wrong, especially the BBJ part. She tortured us about killing that poor thing. And this is an exact quote from Chantal that I have seen from my eyes. You're going in a bag, BBJ. Cats are put in bags after they are put to sleep. And she starved her. She let her live with a horrible kidney infection, infected ears, matted fur, where her skin was caught up in the fur, making it painful to groom herself, and terrible arthritis. It goes on and on. Several people let Turkey Tom know, but there's been no correction, and that's fine. I'll just be here to add into the story. Another thing that was commented on was someone saying that she mocked school shootings in between her weekly bigoted remarks, which this is true. We're going to go through all of these different things. There were people who were trying to stick up for Chantal in the sense of it's okay to have sympathy for her, it's okay to feel sad for her, and while I think there is nuance in this entire situation, and it is okay to have some sort of pity for her, I also think that it is irresponsible to ignore the fact that she is a dangerous person and has done some very terrible things. There were comments saying that she was someone who had a very traumatic childhood, and while it's not an excuse, I have sympathy for her and I think it's fair to have sympathy for her and whatnot. I'm also someone who's had terrible childhood trauma, which I feel like I talk about often, and while I think, sure, a little sympathy, whatever, I do think that that actually is an excuse. While they say it's not an excuse for her actions, the thing is, if they don't know the whole story of Chantal and only know Turkey Tom's video, they don't actually know her actions. They don't know how dangerous of a person she actually is. I would also like to say childhood trauma is not an excuse for you to be a terrible abuser. Before I get into it again, I do want to give a content warning, by the way, because it is very unsettling, angering, and horrific. The first thing I want to cover is something near and dear to me and might make me slightly emotional. The shooting in Uvalde at Robb Elementary School in Texas. I used to live in Texas, and when it happened, I was in Texas and watched it live as things were going on, and it was horrific. Around 19 children and 2 teachers were murdered. She mocked this. She was very drunk and mocked it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to get emotional and I don't want all these feelings to come out because that is a very sensitive topic for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a TikTok of the receipts of her actions and what she's been doing. I will give credit to every single video and TikTok and whatever I use in my description below and even on screen. Just a reminder before we watch the TikTok, the Robb Elementary School Massacre in Uvalde has the second highest number of victims of a school shooting in America between 1982 and 2023. The first one is the Virginia Tech Massacre in 2007. The Uvalde school shooting happened in 2022, so pretty recent. Columbine is right behind that one. First, I want to say you can find this in several other places, but I thought this was just a quick, comprehensive look into how Foodie Beauty acted and what she did, so I'm using this TikTok, but there are much longer videos that probably go in more depth. I just thought this was simple and straight to the point, so that's why I'll be using Milky Chai's TikTok.
Quick warning, the contents of this video are deeply disturbing and many of you are probably going to find it upsetting, so I just want to give you a heads up. May 24th, 2022 in Uvalde, Texas, Robb Elementary School. 19 children and 2 teachers were brutally murdered. They were just another victim of a school shooting, which is currently a massive pandemic that is sweeping America. Yearly, it takes too many lives. But you may be wondering, what does this have to do with Chantel Marie? Now, normally in my Chantel videos, I like to be funny, I like to bring some sarcasm, but I just can't, I don't want to, personally, for this video. The clips speak for themselves. Chantel got drunk. You know what? I don't even need to explain it. This is her response to the shooting.
The song was about until recently, I swear. I was like, what? Make that stop for me. So I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what it means. Because I like the beat. America, this is your fucking culture. This is your new anthem.
America, this is your anthem. And it doesn't end there, obviously. It's Chantel.
It's sad. It is! Why do people not take me seriously?
It's sad, while smiling, and I would say giggling, depends on who you ask really. Does it end there? Of course it doesn't. She proceeded to play that song 3 separate times, twice being drunk, and I believe she was sober in one of them, but don't take my word for it. A very distressing set of videos to sit through. She was live that whole time, the live comments that were happening, I can't even think straight. The live comments that were happening, they were all very upset and distressed at what she was doing. Let's do them finger guns one more time, just so I can make sure you guys all saw that.
Why is it disrespectful? I'm on their side. It's not disrespectful. This song, Pumped Up Kicks, is actually satire. That's your national anthem.
America, that's your anthem. While she continues to try and grow a new audience over on TikTok with kids that are the age of the children that died in the school shooting that she is mocking, I want you to remember this video. I want you to remind her, remind TikTok, remind people that are trying to see the kind side of Chantel what she did. Thanks, I'm Milky, and credits for the video clips will be in the comments. Thank you guys.
That is very short and to the point. There is even more to it. You can go on YouTube and probably even TikTok, but especially YouTube, and watch more explanations on it that go even more in depth. But that is horrific by itself. I could stop there and we could all go, wow, that's really bad. I can't believe that that wasn't added into the video. But there are several other things I think we should cover, because the next one is something that Turkey Tom did talk about, but he wasn't factually correct on. That is the abuse of BBJ, Foodie Beauty's cat. BBJ is an elderly cat, and Foodie Beauty, like we mentioned earlier, really was going to euthanize the cat, but she got so much pushback from her audience and likely would have lost her entire YouTube channel and all of her audience if she would have euthanized the cat. There were several moments of having that conversation with her chat and in videos, and it's all out there. It's something you can easily look up on YouTube. But one video I'm going to lead you to is FFG's video, French Fried Girl's video, which Turkey Tom does bring up, that actually goes more in depth and details the different things that have happened with BBJ since FFG was able to intercept BBJ. Turkey Tom also didn't mention that actually Amy Flowers, which is who Chantal thought she was giving the cat to, was just someone who was DMing her on Instagram. It wasn't through the special program. It wasn't anything like that. She was simply DMing Chantal on Instagram wanting the cat. FFG even went to the point of saying, I will sign an NDA, which means she won't speak about it, and give you $3,000 for BBJ. And Chantal completely ignored that, knowing that Chantal needed the money and knowing that if FFG signed an NDA, she wouldn't be able to talk about it. She couldn't use it for content. Chantal didn't care. She was more than happy to euthanize the cat, and by that I mean kill the cat, then give it to FFG. But like I mentioned earlier, she got too much pushback, so she did give the cat away to someone that she didn't know. Turns out it was FFG's sister-in-law that she gave the cat to. Well, she directly handed BBJ to FFG's brother. Pete's directly handed BBJ to FFG's brother. And that's how FFG got the cat. FFG then took the cat to the vet, and there are documents showing, like people mentioned in the comments, that this cat came from a neglected, abusive home. The nails were embedded into the cat's paws, causing pain. BBJ had a terrible kidney infection and bladder infection, and so much more that was easily treatable and should have been treated a long time ago. And we also know about the matted fur and so on. There's so much to it, but I recommend going and watching the entirety of FFG's video. All of it will be in the description if you truly want to know more about that. But that is a documented, factual thing from the vet, that this cat came from a neglected home, and that neglectful and abusive home is Chantal, Foodie Beauty. The next thing I'm going to go into is Chantal's homophobia. As with everything I'm showing you, there are so many examples of it, of each of these things, but I'm only going to show you one or two. The video I'm going to be showing you is from Zachary Michael. They are a well-known Gorl World reaction channel, and this video is called My Thoughts on Chantal's IG posts. Let's watch.
So in quotations it says, "Foodie Beauty, do you still support LGBT ? And she said, it's complicated. The short answer is no, but I strongly disagree with hating people based on their orientation. I support individuals as people who are kind regardless of their sexual preference, but as a new Muslim, I cannot make something halal that is forbidden. There's nothing wrong with not believing in same-sex relationships. This coming from a Muslim convert, formerly agnostic and almost atheist. Therefore, I have done and still do my fair share of sinning." Oh, she definitely does, including having had same-sex relations out of curiosity in my past. Now, however, as I attempt to grow as a person and learn Islam further, I love the idea that we can disagree with others' beliefs and not condemn them for having them. That is between them and their relationship with God. We live to serve Him and not ourselves. We must obey as this is what is good for us. God made us who we are, and each one of us is special. Therefore, to alter our natural state of being is haram, and I fully understand this, but as good Muslims, we must also practice kindness to all, no matter the orientation. It's funny because you didn't hold Salah to that standard just a few days before you posted this, but that's none of my business, I guess. This concept of kindness is something I struggle with as I have anger issues. You sure the fuck do. But it is something I know I'll get right someday. I will never give up, and the closer I allow myself Allah to enter my heart, the more I want to do right. I was lost for all of my life. I'm still finding myself. It's a journey. It's a gift from God. You're almost 40 years old. Get your life the fuck together. So this is irritating to me for a number of reasons. One, because literally, like I said, just right before she posted this, she was talking so much about how she has such a big gay audience and how much she loves gay people and trans people and that she doesn't support people saying rude things, and then said, but that's just how things are here in Kuwait. That's just how Salah insults people. It's normal here, okay? No, I don't care how normal it is or isn't. You're choosing to get yourself involved in this as somebody who allegedly in the past loved LGBTQIA people.
You guys know I have a big gay audience, and I do love gay people, okay? Like, that's not gonna change.
But also I hate it because it paints this picture that all Muslim people have this anti-LGBT sentiment. Surely, yes, there are probably Muslim people. I know there are Muslim people who don't like the LGBT community, but in my experience of personally knowing people who practice Islam, I can tell you that not only are there plenty of straight people who love and support people in the LGBT community, there are also queer people who are also Muslim.
That's just one example, but there are other examples that you are welcome to look up on YouTube, because it is so easy to look all of this up. So that's why I'm so confused why Turkey Tom didn't add it in. Maybe he just didn't want Chantal to look a certain way. I'm not sure. Moving on, we're going to look at ableism and the R slur, which is something that Foodie Beauty loves to use and has used for several years and has recently used, actually. But I'm just going to show you this example from this particular video because I think this goes more in depth as to what she truly feels about ableism and the R slur, which is a slur, and people who have disabilities have made sure people know this is a slur. But let's see her real feelings.
Wait, Jane, are you fucking retarded? Oh, sorry, I said retarded. Oh, I'm not allowed to say retarded. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, that's a slur. Give me a break. I'm so tired of people being so fucking SJW. You can't even say anything anymore without people being fucking offended. Honestly, the R word, honestly, that pisses me off. I'm going to be honest. Because honestly, I obviously don't have anything. It's so stupid. I obviously don't have anything against people with disabilities. It's so stupid. Retarded is also figurative. It has nothing to do with people with disabilities. Actually, people with disabilities are not insulted by the word retard. Okay? Retard means you're fucking stupid. don't even associate with people with disabilities. People with disabilities don't even fucking go there. People with disabilities don't even associate with them with that fucking word.
Well, I'm pretty sure that speaks for itself on her ableism and her thoughts on the R slur. However, this isn't her only example of ableism. There are plenty of other examples. You're welcome to go look for them yourself. My idea of a good time is not looking up Foodie Beauty being an animal abusive, homophobic, ableist, racist person. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to her racism. I will be using a couple examples because it's just a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot. Let's watch.
You like it? You don't like it? Oh, sorry. Go back to Egypt, you fucking refugee piece of shit. You don't even deserve to be in Canada. You should be deported. You deserve to be hung by the fucking president.
I want to go to Tunisia and get myself a Mohammed.
Contacted the police? What? Did they fucking kick his ass? Get beat up by the cops. How is that racist? Like, dude. Again, I can't take a fucking joke.
Because violence against black men is a serious problem.
He called the cops on me for giving him shit. And then whenever I said, the cop should beat you up for being stupid like that, for reporting stupid shit like that. That's racist, really? Just because he's black and I'm referencing cop and black in the same sentence? No, that's fucking reaching. That's fucking stupid.
So that's the first clip. This next clip is particularly about Charlie Gold. Someone who was faking being Charlie Gold sent an email to Chantal saying some pretty terrible things and talking about her mother, using their full name and showing that they had the capability to dox her mother. So this was a bit of an emotional thing for Chantal, which makes sense. I think that emotional feeling is very valid. However, it wasn't the real Charlie Gold, but Chantal thought it was. Charlie Gold is a reaction channel that covered Foodie Beauty a lot. Something to mention that is important is that Charlie Gold is a black woman, so keep that in mind as we watch this.
She was a criminal. I knew it. I can tell. I know a criminal when I see one. Charlie Cole, stop playing the race card. Charlie Cole, you'll be going right back to the slammer where you belong.
Foodie Beauty would go on to apologize, but then recant her apology, refusing to take accountability for her words and actions. She would soon double down on her claims that she did nothing wrong. She not only withdrew her apology, but apologized for apologizing.
As every day goes by, I'm less and less proud of. And it brought up a discussion. I think it's an important discussion that I've seen some comments on the video I posted, my last video, defending myself against some racial accusations. And a lot of people were, some people said some comments that made sense, and I talked to Keith about it. And he said some things that made sense. I wanted him to explain what he said to me because he can explain it better. And it just made me realize some things. And overall, it made me realize that the things I did say to Charlie were very wrong. No matter how much she harasses, whatever she says about me, whatever. Basically, the comments were saying, like, as a white person, I don't have a right to decide what is racially offensive to somebody of color. So
Pretty much. Yeah, to listen to people of color, in this case, to listen to black people, when they say that something is offensive.
So I don't want to explain my behavior or excuse it, so I just wanted to give a sincere apology to Charlie for saying those things and to anybody whom I may have offended, anybody of color. It wasn't my intention.
Particularly any black people.
Yeah, it wasn't my intention, but that doesn't matter in this case because I offended people. And I just want to own my actions and learn from them.
So you can see in that first clip that Foodie Beauty realized what she did. She explained what she did and why it was wrong, and then apologized for it. This next clip was soon after that apology, and this is her apologizing for apologizing, kinda. I'll let her explain it.
I'm sorry that I ever explained myself for my comments about Charlie, about calling her Cole, because I wasn't being racist. And I firmly believe that, and I should have stood by that. I'm sorry that I ever apologized for that.
I think Turkey Tom should have included all of it, but what are your thoughts? I also think this paints Chantal in a new light and shows the dangerous, terrible person that she is. Just because you've gone through trauma doesn't mean you have to be an animal abuser, a homophobic ableist, or a racist person who makes fun of school shootings. Now that's just my opinion. Sadly, this is not everything on Chantal. Not even close. However, I will say these are easily searchable on YouTube, and I'm surprised they weren't added into Turkey Tom's video, and that does kind of concern me about Turkey Tom's research. However, those are just my thoughts, and you might disagree. That's totally fine. I just ask that you respect each other in the comments when having a discussion over this. I also want to say this is not about Chantal being fat. at all. I know people like to throw, fat phobia into the mix when someone's talking about Chantal or Amberlynn Reed. She's dangerous in of herself too. No, this is about their actions and what they've done to people. I am also an overweight person, and I don't like fat phobia, and so I'm not going to be fat phobic. Anyway, all that to say, the reason I'm doing this video is because I feel like these things should have been added, or some of these, part of these, even if it's a brief touch. And I also wanted to clear up the animal abuse and BBJ because it was not hard for her to make that decision. She was forced to not euthanize her from her YouTube channel because she would have lost pretty much everybody. And I do recommend watching the FFG video because it is quite the video that goes in depth, and there are documents out there that you can look at from the vet as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope this cleared up some things. It really is nothing against Turkey Tom. He doesn't know I exist and probably will never see this video, but I do think these things were important to add, especially if you wanted to go follow Chantal. You might want to know these things beforehand. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Show you what I'm all about. Make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him. I don't care about what has been. I only care about yours.